So just getting back from our trip to Texas and Florida, in which we had so much fun, but getting back to New Jersey, I wanted to make sure I got this video done straight away while I finally have some time, because I've been meaning to do it for the past few weeks now. And what actually brought it up in the first place was when I went to go visit Mike Laird and his shop. I was looking for old footage of Mike Laird. I stumbled across this video and I couldn't believe it when I found it, because this video right here shows one of the best days I've ever had in my life when it comes to BMX. This was in 2001, and it was Dave Mirra's BMX Super Tour coming to visit my parents' skate park at the Incline Club in Lakewood, New Jersey. I was 14 years old at the time, and I finally got to see my heroes and my idols in real life, and it was the coolest day ever. It really was. And I remember being so excited to watch this video because I knew it was being shown on ESPN, and I was going to be able to see my parents' skate park, the Incline Club, and maybe some of my friends in the background on TV for the first time ever. So in today's video, we're going to be watching it together, and I'm going to be going over all the cool things in this video because there's so much amazing riding, so many amazing riders, and there's also a special guest and a WWF superstar that you'll see in this video as well. So let's roll the video right now. The Dave Mirra BMX Super Tour from 2001. So you can see there's a sign right there that shows Lakewood, my parents' skate park. That was the city that it was in.
Last demo of the tour. Pretty psyched.
Like hearing Dave Mirra talk about my skate park is so cool. And me being a kid and like looking up to Dave Mirra so much, just unbelievable that he actually came to my parents' skate park and rode it. So they were traveling around in a bus all
Pulling
around
up
the
the
country.
last demo and seeing how big the crowd was.
The crowd was absolutely huge. It was like a celebrity show.
And knowing that it was the last demo of the tour.
And there he is,
And
guys.
seeing Randy there and stuff. I mean, it was cool to have him at a demo. And
The
last
Macho
demo,
Man
you know,
himself
kinda
was
just
at
wrapping
my
the whole
parents'
tour up.
skate park. That
when you
is
see all
just
those
so
people there
ridiculous.
for you watching, you know, your shows, you want to give it your all.
The anticipation for the demo to start was huge. I mean, everybody was really looking forward to it. So when the riders got off the bus, they had to work their way through the crowd.
I remember the skate park just being so packed that they couldn't fit any more people inside. There was people waiting
It's just
outside to
crazy.
get
So
into
every
the
kid
skate
knew
park.
each rider, and they came in one at a time, and they all had their favorite rider.
When Dave Mirra came out, everybody went insane. It was huge. Macho Man hyping the crowd up.
They were all rooting for everybody else there, so it was a slow build-up to an unbelievable demo. I mean,
Look at that crowd.
I was totally amazed by the level that these guys ride at a demo. I mean,
It was
really, it's only a
jam-packed.
demo, but these
And there's
guys
Mike
ride it
Laird
like
right
it's
there,
their
by the
final
way, in
run
the gray
X
shirt.
Games.
We're at the Incline Club in New Jersey. We're here for the Dave Mirra Super Tour. This is our last show. And we have a special treat. Randy the Macho Man Savage is showing up, so let's go see what he's up to. What do you think of this craziness going on out here?
Tell you what, it's just gonna keep getting sicker, I think. You know what I mean? Watching the warm-ups. If those guys aren't warmed up right now, I don't know what to expect. You know, expect the unexpected, I guess.
Yeah, we hung out at the Slim Jim factory a couple of weeks ago. Actually,
So
it was
at the
probably about a
time,
month
Dave
ago,
Mirra rode
and you
for
were there
Slim
hanging out. I
Jim,
didn't get to see
and
any
Macho
riding,
Man
so I bet
was
you're
also
probably
like
excited.
part
I
of
know you've been
Slim
to the
Jim,
X Games
so
and stuff
they just
before,
mixed
but,
up. And
I know you
I
got
believe
some
this tour
favorites.
was
Who are you
also
looking to see
sponsored by
go
Slim
big out
Jim, so
here?
it makes
There's
sense.
a new kid starting out that shows a little potential, might someday be somebody if he follows what I got to tell him. That's Dave Mirra. I think he could make it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
So in my opinion, like this was the golden years of BMX. Like BMX was growing so much and there were so many people into the sport. So seeing all these guys show up there, we're talking Dennis McCoy, Dave Mirra, Ryan Nyquist, Troy McMurray, Colin McKay, Scott Wirch, Mike Laird, Rob Darden, Corey Nastasio, like all the biggest riders were there at the time.
That's amazing. Yeah.
No hand and backflip right there.
Right there, man.
Ryan Nyquist, the pit bull of BMX.
Look at that, 360 tail tap to bar spin over the spine, nice suey gap across the box jumps.
Another no for the can, nothing. And it's just one of those tricks that it's like the more I do it,
It's
the better
crazy
it
to
feels.
think like around that time was like when he first did that trick, so it's a pretty big deal. There's Troy McMurray riding my parents' skate park, which I was so pumped on, because Troy was someone who I never expected ever to see at my parents' skate park. So seeing him there and absolutely killing it, 180 bar spin over the spine, doing 360 fakies. Scott Wirch also, he has so many tricks. He actually did this really insane proof that you guys are gonna see in a second. And it's on the back side of the mini ramp. That's like a 6-foot deck right there. Mr. Rob Darden showed up, and Rob at the time, like, he was such a progressive, big pro. Like, he was really good at tail whip combinations, double tail whips. He was like one of the only people doing it at the time.
I know that's like a super low percentage trick. Hardly anybody can land that. And on his second try,
yeah,
he
like a
nailed
wall
it
right
to
to
the
tail whip
pedals.
at this time, like nobody was doing that. That was like a brand new trick.
What do you think?
He rocked it, no doubt about it. Look at that right there.
Corey Nastasio doing his signature Indian air no for the can over the box jump. Like just seeing the ramps that like I grew up riding and seeing the guys ride them at the same time, like, oh, the coolest feeling in the world. And like seeing their signature touch
Colin
being put on my
McKay is
skateboard.
another really good rider I like to watch ride because he's got his own style and he's burly.
So Colin McKay, he is still involved in BMX. He actually is part of Vans, so he actually runs the social media. He also runs part of the BMX program. So if you guys ever see anything on Vans BMX 66, Colin McKay is probably the one that put it up. And yes, he still rides, and he still rides very well. So this was done like a TV show, so they would do it to commercial. So this is sending it off into the commercial, and we'll be coming back in a second to see the rest of the video. And the rest of the video features Dave Mirra when he finally gets on the course. It was nuts, guys, like such an epic moment. But here's Mike Laird doing a wall ride to bar spin.
Mike Laird was trying some stuff. I think the one thing he really wanted to pull really bad was he was trying to wall ride the tail up onto the bank. Pretty techno trick. I know Rob pulled one earlier in the demo. He's like a tail whip man, so I wouldn't expect anything less out of him. He's, you know, got those things wired. But Laird, I think he pulled a couple in his days, not too many.
So
but he was definitely
he got
taking
so
it. He was taking
tangled
some
up
serious
in the bike.
crashes.
I told him to go more straight when he's doing the wall ride instead of carving. So he can just pop off the wall and just concentrate on the tail whip. So, let's see.
And he gets it, almost takes out the crowd, but he did pull it.
You feet, you listen to Darden, you stick shot. I'm the man.
Did you hear
Mike's the
him?
man.
He said, I'm the man. And then he like called himself, he's like, Mike's the man. But the truth is, Rob Darden is the man. Whether he wants to say it or I'm gonna say it.
It helped a lot.
There's Colin McKay doing a tail whip drop in on the box jump. Dennis McCoy doing 540 tail tap over the box jump to fakie. Now Dennis McCoy, he was trying this crazy trick. He did a lot of fakie tricks in this setup. You could see the 720 to fakie right here in the mini ramp. But this next trick you guys are gonna see is pretty gnarly. And he didn't land it in this video, but he did land it before. But check this out, it's insane.
Definitely got it left in him, no doubt about that. He's gonna go for it right now, and I like it like
So
that.
here
we go.
it is, a huge Abubuca that is a 6-foot ramp with like a 6-foot deck and a 7-foot wall, and he's trying to go fakie into it. Now if you see, he actually sits down when he does fakies, so he had to get back to the seat and do it. But in the video game, the Matt Hoffman BMX video game, there is a clip of him landing it, but here's some other tricks of him going fakie. Abubuca on the sub box, landing it, and then also a wall tap to fakie. Now I really missed that wall ride setup. And here it is, this is Dave Mirra's section in the video. Dave Mirra went off. He destroyed this place. People were just so excited for him to ride. They did him dirty with this. They put a 360 with the case clip in there. Like I know there was a lot more other tricks that they could have put in there, but they make up for it with this. Look at this, a Sui no-hander over the box, and he lands no hands. Like my little brother saw this and he couldn't
I go in there and I
believe
just
it. But
decided to
Dave
through the
Mirra,
railing,
that was
hop
nothing.
off once,
at
break the
time.
deck. I do it again, miss it, and then I do it the next time. Then
So
works
this
went
right
for
here,
it,
he
and
talks
then,
about doing a
I just
bunch
did
of
like
different
5
foo
back-to-back foo-fanoos on this, just having
And
fun with
this
it.
one right here was pretty wild to see because he's riding the mini ramp going back and forth. And I remember like at the time of him doing this, but it kind of, I'll show you what happens after this because it's kind of something that's pretty crazy that I didn't even notice happened until rewatching this. And it has something to do with me doing foo-fanoos. But Dave going back and forth in this mini ramp over and over again. And like I ended up learning how to do foo-fanoos, you know, I guess I was kind of inspired from seeing riders like Dave Mirra doing it and seeing Dave foo-fanoo all the railings in there. But here's my section from the Sentence to Life video with Dave Mirra of me doing the foo-fanoo to foo-fanoo and then doing the Abubuca and the fakie tail whip. So it's kind of crazy that I ended up doing that. Look at this right here. He does this crazy foo-fanoo and he almost hits somebody. Look, here's the slow-mo. pops back in and just misses the person. They had no idea that he was there either. But this next Fufanu, especially for 2001, this is insane. He does the railing above the sub box. So skips the sub box, the thing that you're supposed to Fufanu if you're really good, and he goes above and hits the railing and comes back in. And now what's so crazy about it, if you guys watch this slow-mo that I put in here, I don't know who this is or if they were trying to like catch Dave Mirra or if they were just trying to defend themselves, but you see they have like that thing in their hand that they're like holding up. So I don't know who that is or what the situation was, but pretty crazy to see on the slow-mo.
This was a Fufanu tribute demo where I just Fufanu'd as much as I could.
That crowd. And what's so crazy is like, I'm looking in that crowd and I don't recognize anybody. Like, and that really bummed me out because I remember being so excited to see this video and see who was going to be in it, like any of my friends, and I couldn't find them in there.
To be honest,
I wasn't in either. I don't know where I was at all in that. So that's the video, and I'll just go and say it again. This was like the best BMX day I've ever had, especially being a young kid and seeing your heroes. Seeing somebody like Dave Mirra, who was such a rock star in our sport. Like his persona and the way he rode his bike was second to none. And having him show up at my skate park and like be able to ride that in front of me and me be able to watch him ride it and to be able to learn from him and to be able to take his riding clearly and put it in my own riding. As you guys could see from that clip I showed you in the Sentence to Life video. Sentence to Life was Dave Mirra's video and he personally asked me to be in it. There was only 6 riders that were in it and I was lucky enough to be in there. So that was only about 4 years after that as well, which is so crazy to think about. But Dave Mirra was such a legend in our sport, and I'm so grateful for everything that he did for BMX. All the doors that he opened up, both on the bike and off the bike, and I'm just so glad that I was able to call him a friend, and I'm just so proud of the person that he was in our sport. So huge thank you to Dave Mirra. He will forever be the ultimate BMX rider in my eyes. But guys, I'm so glad that we were able to watch that video together and relive those memories. I know a lot of you that follow my career over the years, you guys will find that really interesting, seeing that in 2001, I was just a fan in the crowd, but I'm just so grateful for the career that I was able to live on a BMX bike, even though I didn't even think it was going to be possible at all. But guys, it's gonna be it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed rewatching that video with me. Since we're back in New Jersey, we're going to be filming as many videos as we possibly can for you guys, so you should all get excited for it. So hopefully we will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.